Welcome, ma'am, to Gujarat National University.
Thank you.
As we all know that you were earlier an academician, then you moved to the judiciary, and then now you're again an academician. So, ma'am, how did you make this change? Whether it was difficult, how did you do it precisely? Because it's a radical shift from being an academician to being a part of the judiciary, which is an essential component of the state. So, how did that transition happen?
Before I became judge, I was an academician for about 13 to 14 years, and lastly I was also principal of one of the renowned law college of Ahmedabad. And then I was invited to take over as a judge. I took over, and now again I am academician. The shift, I did not find it difficult at all. Rather, what I personally believe is there are so many common elements in both of it. In both of it, academic bent is must. In both of it, sincerity is must. In both of it, you must be a role model. In the college, you must be role model for your students. There you must be role model for entire society, because judge is supposed to be very dedicated, sincere, honest, and so on and so forth. So I did not find the shift difficult at all. I find that in a way both the lines are interconnected with each other. That's what my personal experience is, because as a judge also you have to do the research, because while writing judgment you just cannot write judgment basing only upon the input given to you by the concerned lawyers. You'll have to make your own research, and this exercise of making research is equally there in teaching profession as well.
Now moving on to the next question. Ma'am, as we all are aware that during your tenure as a judge, you dealt with a lot of cases related to terrorism. Ma'am, what we would like to know as law students is that legislations which specifically deal with terrorism like POTA and TADA, they have a separate mechanism when it comes to procedure, and they have different laws altogether for it. So, ma'am, what I would like to know is whether the judiciary looks at these cases in a different perspective, or what is the most major difference between a normal criminal trial and a trial under these two acts specifically?
Normal criminal trial is in a way wrong against individual. Broadly speaking, it is wrong against society. But in terrorism cases, it is wrong against entire nation. And not only nation, the threat is on international level as well. Because as you know, terrorism knows no religion. It knows no geographical boundaries. Therefore, it can spread over to anywhere. So, as a judge, you have to be very responsible, very sensitive, very dedicated, and above all, you have to see to it that you conduct entire trial in a way which is in itself is very illustrative. Of course, in all other criminal trials, we do take necessary care. Here also we take. As such, the two trials are not different, except certain provisions, the applicability of certain provisions, and as you rightly pointed out, the procedure are also different, because those cases are special kind of cases, special offences, and they are being dealt with by special laws as well. So except the law differs, judges do not differ. But true it is that we have to keep international perspective. We must remember international standard of judging, and that has to be applied in practice as and when essential.
Okay, moving on to my final question for today. Ma'am, as it is all aware, like judiciary is a very lucrative option for law students. So what advice would you like to give to our students of our university who want to pursue a career in judiciary? Do they have to look at academics in a different perspective, or any other advice which you would like to give?
Being judge, you must have a very broad perspective. You cannot think narrowly, you cannot interpret narrowly. So whatever today also come to you, if you really have ambition to be judge, you must inculcate habit, or you must develop exercising of thinking widely, thinking nationally. You just can't think in a very narrow perspective. And the most important thing is, more than knowledge, you must be very dedicated to your work. It's a worship. It's a very divine work to be discharged by you. And when you have been assigned very divine obligation, you have to be very sensitive, very dedicated, very sincere, and wedded to the cause for which you are working, that is administration of justice, should be the only religion, and you should also be wedded to constitutional values, human right perspective, and many other such things. But in a nutshell, what you are studying now is purely law. We have to think beyond that corridor, because there, as a judge, you must take into center sociological aspect, psychological aspect, the impact of your judgment, the signal which you are likely to send to the society. If you do this conviction or that conviction, the signals would be sent to the society, and those signals should be such by which control of crime results. That should be the aims. So AMD first.
Okay, ma'am. It was a pleasure and it was an honor to be with you. We hope you had a great stay, and we hope to see you in the future as well.
Thank you, and best of luck to you and every student of GNLU.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.